Hello everyone, myself Vinay Kumaram. I am pursuing PhD in physics. So in this particular YouTube channel, I will be teaching physics, chemistry and mathematics starting from 8th standard till 12th standard. So if you want to learn physics, chemistry and mathematics, then please do subscribe to my channel. So in my previous video, I was actually explaining about the third chapter in mathematics in 9th standard mathematics, that was on coordinate geometry. So most of the explanation I have given in my previous video. Please watch that video to understand about coordinate geometry, which is there in this third chapter. So now in this particular video and in my next video, I'll be explaining about examples which are there in this chapter and exercise 3.1 and exercise 3.2. So now we will look into exercise 3.1. Now in exercise 3.1, we will look into the first question. So in first question, they have asked to locate a particular book's position on a particular table. So here they are asking, how will you describe the position of a table lamp on your study table to another person? So here they have not given book, they have given study lamp. So now let's say you have a table like this. So if a table is there like this, so I'm trying to draw one three-dimensional image of table. So if there is a table like this top surface, I'll write one more time like this. So the top surface of table, if you look from the top side, so if you look from the top position, how the top surface of table looks like, I have drawn here. So if this is the table, so if this is the table's top surface, then here let us say a table lamp is kept like this. So now if there is a table lamp kept like this at some position on this particular table, so now you have to describe this particular position to another person. So how will you describe the position of this particular table lamp? Now in order to do that, you want two information, because here you are trying to find the position on the surface of the table. So if you are trying to find the position on the surface of the table, that means surface is just a two-dimensional entity. So that means just the top surface of the table you're considering. So in order to tell the position of this particular lamp on the table, you have to find two different information with respect to two different dimensions. So now we will take this as one particular axis and this as another axis. Now we have two different axes defining two different dimensions. We'll call this particular edge of the table as x axis, and we call this particular edge of the table as y axis. Or else, to make it much more simpler, let's call this as bottom edge, let's call this as left edge. It depends from which angle you're viewing that particular table, because if your view on the table is from this direction, means from this direction you're going on top and viewing the top surface of the table, then this will become the bottom edge and this will become the left edge. If you are viewing from this particular direction, or if you have a view from this particular direction, then your bottom edge top edge changes. So that's why instead of taking this bottom and left, we will straight away take x-axis. We'll define one of the edge as x-axis and other edge as y-axis, which remains constant. So now from this x-axis of the table, how much distance this particular lamp is there, you have to calculate. Let's say it is somewhere around 35 centimeter away from the x-axis, and it is 15 centimeter away from the y-axis. If you want to update the position of this particular table lamp to other person, you have to tell him which is the x and y axis on the table, and you have to tell which edge of the table is x axis and which edge of the table is y axis. You have to update to that person, and then you have to mention the table lamp is 35 centimeter away from the defined x axis edge of the table, and it is 15 centimeter away from the defined y axis edge of the table. Or simply you can tell the table lamp is 35 centimeter away from the one edge. If you are weaving this particular table from this side, that is from this direction, if you are weaving, then the bottom part of the edge you can consider that as bottom edge, and the left edge you can consider as left edge if you are weaving from this particular side. So that way also you can answer this question. So simply you can call this x axis and y axis and tell that it is 35 centimeter away from x axis and 15 centimeter away from y axis on the table surface from the defined x and y axis. So this is how you can answer a particular person about the position of this particular table lamp on the table. Now we will look into the second question in the same exercise 3.1. So in second question, here there is one particular main road in a city which runs from north to south, and there is another main road in the city which runs from west to east. There are parallel roads running along this main road which is there from north to south, and along with the main road running from west to east. So let us draw those parallel roads like this. So let's draw 5 parallel roads to north south main road like this. So 1 2 3 4 5. Similarly, we'll draw 5 more parallel roads for west to east main road. So 1 2, now there is third road, fourth and fifth. So now we have 5 parallel roads for west to east and 5 parallel road for the main road which is running from north to south. So now these crossroads, you can call this as 1 2 3 4 5, and this 1 2 3 4 5 is parallel to north south road. Now we'll call this as 1 2 3 4 5, and this 1 2 3 4 5 which is there here are parallel to the west to east main road. If I have to locate a particular position, so in this second question, after drawing this particular image, you have to identify 2,5 cross street. Now you have to identify 2,5 cross street. So now how to locate this 2,5 cross street or crossroad? Because here we have 5 different crossroads and which is parallel to north south main road, and 5 different crossroads which is parallel to west to east main road. Here this particular position, whatever they are asking, we will take this as parallel street to north south main road. So this is parallel streets to north south main road, and the second position which they are asking here, we can consider this as parallel streets. So parallel streets for west to east main road. So the first position, the first number in this bracket indicates the parallel road which is running parallel to north south main road, and the second number in this bracket, whatever is there, that is indicating the parallel street which is parallel to west to east main road. We have to identify 2,5 position. 2 is the parallel road, means here the first number whatever we have in the bracket, that is the parallel street to north south main road. So which is north south main road? Here this particular street is north south main road, and this 1 2 3 4 5 is parallel to this north south main road. So that means here 2 is there. So 2 means this particular street you have to mark down. Now in the second position in the bracket you have 5. This is parallel street for west to east main road. So that means these roads what are there, these are all parallel to west to east main road. So here you have 5 means fifth street. So which is the fifth one here? This is the fifth road which is parallel to west to east main road. So that means now you can see this particular point on this graph or on this particular image is the point, is the intersection point for the second parallel road to north south and fifth parallel road to west east main road. So now you have identified 2, 5. Similarly, you have to identify 4, 3, and so this is first question in second question, and you have to identify 3, 4. So now this 4 means this is parallel road to north south main road. So that means that is somewhere here, this one. Now the second number indicates parallel roads to the west to east main road. So that means this one is third road which is parallel to west to east main road. So now this is third. So straight away if you come here, and from 4 also straight away if you come here, so somewhere over here at this particular position is your 4, 3 position. This is 4, 3 position. Next you have to find 3, 4. So 3 means this particular 3 you have to take, because here first number denotes the parallel road from north to south, and the second number, that is 4, denotes the parallel road from west to east, parallel roads for the main road which is running from west to east. So that means this is the fourth number. So from here you can come perpendicularly like this, and from here also you can come perpendicularly like this, and somewhere over here you have 4, 3. So one thing you can notice here, no intersections will repeat. For example, here if you take this particular intersection, it is 1, 1. This is 2, 1. This is 3, 1. This is 4, 1. This is 5, 1. Here this is 1, 2. This is 2, 2. This is 3, 2. This is 4, 2. This is 5, 2. Like that it goes on for all the intersections wherever all these 5 streets are intersecting on a 2-dimensional surface. That's it. So now there were few more concepts in this particular chapter which I'll explain in this video. So in my previous video I have explained that when you draw a particular x-axis and y-axis like this, so that means basically you're taking two different number lines and you're making their origins to intersect, and you're making these two number lines origin to intersect with each other, and these two number lines are perpendicular to each other. So that means here 0 will be there, here 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and here also it is minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4 minus 5. So here also it will be 1 2 3 4 5. So this is positive y-axis, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4 minus 5. This is negative y-axis. So here we call this particular end as y and this particular end as y dash, and we call this particular end as x and this particular end as x dash. So that means x dash means it is the negative part of the x-axis, and just x is the positive part of the x-axis, and y is the positive part of y-axis, y dash is the negative part of y-axis. So now here you have 4 different places you can observe here. Here one space is there, here one space is there, here one space is there, here one space is there. So this you can call as quadrant 1. Why we are calling quadrant is because the entire plane is divided into 4 different parts. So that means here 1 2, 3, 4. So that means this entire plane, what we are considering here, this is getting divided into 4 parts by this axis. So that's why 1/4 of this particular plane will be known as quadrant, and this is known as quadrant 1, and this is known as quadrant 2, this is known as quadrant 3, this is known as quadrant 4. So this entire plane what we have here, where we are defining this x and y axis, so this plane is known as Cartesian plane. So this particular plane is known as Cartesian plane, and this particular axis what you have, the x and y axis what you have here, so this x axis and y axis are known as coordinate axis. So this x and y axis are known as coordinate axis. So always remember, whenever we are taking one single axis, you have to write ax is. So this is the singular form. Whenever you are considering two axes, then it is known as axis. So that means you, in the place of I, you should use e. So here I am considering x and y, two different axes are there. So that means this is coordinate axis. So that means here two axes are there. So these x and y axis are known as coordinate axis, and this entire plane is known as Cartesian plane, or you can call this Cartesian plane as coordinate plane as well. So these all small things you have to remember here and there. So now here, whenever you have a particular axis like this, so we have one y axis which is running from y to y dash, and we have one x axis which is running from x to x dash. So here we have 0, here we have 1, 2, 3, and here we have -1, -2, -3. Here we have 1, 2, 3, and here we have -1, -2, -3. At 2, 3 position, I'll put one point like this. So that means I'm taking 2, 3 positioned point which is named as P. So that means P of 2, 3. So this 2 is nothing but whenever you drop a perpendicular line from this point P onto x-axis, so whatever value is you are getting on this x-axis is the first number, and whenever you drop a perpendicular line onto y-axis, so that particular position where it is meeting on y-axis, so this is the second number in this bracket. Now these things we have learnt in my previous video. So these things I have explained in my previous video. Now here, the perpendicular line which you are drawing from y-axis to the point, so this is known as x coordinate. Why this is known as x coordinate? Because here you can see this line is exactly parallel to this x-axis, and this is exactly equal to 2 units, because from here to here, what is the length between these 2 points? That is from y-axis to the point P, that is 2 units. Now this particular perpendicular line which is there from the point to x-axis, this is known as y coordinate. So this is known as y coordinate. So this y coordinate is parallel to y-axis, and the distance of this y coordinate is the distance of the point from x-axis. So that is 3 units. So that is 3 units. So here x coordinate, so x coordinate and y coordinate we have. So one more thing you'll have to remember, x coordinate is always known as abscissa, and y coordinate is always known as ordinate. So y coordinate is always known as ordinate. So, and always remember, y coordinate is the parallel line which is parallel to y axis and which is perpendicular to x axis from the point, and x coordinate is the line perpendicular to y axis from the point which will be parallel to the x axis. So that is, this is x coordinate, and this particular x coordinate is parallel to x axis and it is perpendicular to y-axis, and y coordinate is parallel to y-axis and it is perpendicular to x-axis. So the number which you are writing here is the x coordinate value. The number which you are writing here is the y coordinate value. So here x coordinate is this, and the length of this x coordinate is, you can get this by this particular x-axis. So here, because this particular length, this particular x coordinate is parallel to x-axis and its length is 2 units, this so that's why we are writing here 2, and this y coordinate is perpendicular to x-axis and it is parallel to y-axis. So if you consider the length of this y coordinate, it is 3 units. So that's why here I am writing 3. So P of 2 comma 3 is the point, and here 2 is the x coordinate unit, the length unit, and 3 is the y coordinates length unit. So based on this topic, example 1 and example 2 are there, and also exercise 3.2 is there. So that I'll be teaching in my next video. So this is all there in this particular video. Like this, if you want to learn more physics, chemistry and mathematics starting from 8th standard till 12th standard, then you have to subscribe to my channel. Please do subscribe to my channel and stay tuned with my channel. Thank you.